Battlefield 2042 Season 2 has been live for a few weeks now, and something I've picked up on, and you probably have too if you've been playing, is that barely anybody is using the new M16A3 that they added from Portal into All Out Warfare. Now, if you've played with it, you probably felt like something was off, and you just decided, I'll use something that's better, forget this gun. But if we take a deeper look, you'll see some pretty disturbing things that make you beg the question, did anyone even test this gun before it was released? I don't want to waste too much of your time with intro speeches. Today, we're going to talk about the M16A3 and how just unbelievably non-functional it actually is. First things first, the attachments. It's no secret that using the M16 just by default puts you on an uneven playing field with the 2042 weapons, because at the end of the day, the Battlefield 3 attachments just weren't as in-depth as the 2042 ones. But what if I told you that one of the attachments just flat out did nothing? Would you believe me? Probably, because this is kind of par for the course at this point. The M16A3's grip attachment, which is supposed to reduce vertical recoil, does absolutely nothing. The funny part is that the heavy barrel attachment, which is supposed to increase your vertical recoil while increasing your damage range, actually does work. So you can get an attachment that makes it harder to hit people, but you can't use the one that makes it easier to hit people. And if you use the M16, you'll know that high recoil is one of the reasons this gun is so hard to use. So the grip just being completely non-functional is kind of a problem. As a side note, in case you're curious, the M60 that was added from Battlefield 3 Portal as well, yeah, the grip on that one doesn't work either. Hey, at least if DICE is anything, they're consistent with things not working. Anyways, if it was just the grip attachment that was broken here, then it probably wouldn't warrant a video. So there's more. The next thing was discovered by my brother by accident, so shoutouts to him. But as it turns out, for whatever reason, the M16 has a negative multiplier if you hit people in the arms or the legs. Now in other FPS games, this can be a sort of normal thing, but in 2042, it was absent. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is probably up to the person. But the point stands that every single gun in Battlefield 2042, if you hit someone in the legs, arms, chest, basically anywhere but the head, will always do a flat amount of damage. I suppose it's for consistency's sake, and personally, I'm a fan. Problem is, M16 doesn't care. It is the only gun, aside from the M60, naturally, in all-out warfare that can hit people in the arms and legs and make it so that it will take an extra bullet to kill. How this happened, I wish I could tell you. I really don't have a clue. My best guess would be that the Portal people who developed this are different from the All Out Warfare people, and they just ripped this gun straight from Portal, changed nothing, and threw it in All Out Warfare. Next on the docket, something that you've undoubtedly noticed if you decided to use this weapon, is that the reload is really jank. It reminds me of the PBX before they patched it, if anybody remembers that. There are two main factors that make the M16's reload feel clunky when compared to the other weapons in 2042. The first is that when you're reloading, your new ammo isn't applied until you finish basically the entire reload animation. On other weapons, such as the M5A3, as soon as you insert the magazine, your ammo count updates. This means that if you have to vault something, or you cancel the reload by switching weapons, whatever it may be, when you switch back, you'll have ammo. M16? Yeah, I don't think so. And the other issue, which is directly tied to that one, is the M16 isn't able to fire after being reloaded until you put your left hand back on the gun. This sounds weird, but if you pay attention, you'll see what I mean. For the sake of fluidity, I can only assume, on the other weapons, once you've put the mag in, you're ready to shoot again. But the M16, you need to put the mag in and then put that left hand back on the gun, otherwise you can't fire. It just makes it really awkward when switching from a normal gun to this one. And let me tell you, with the M16 lacking extended mags and the high rate of fire, you'll be reloading a lot and you'll take notice of this almost immediately. It's a real problem, even if it's just for an extremely short amount of time that you're vulnerable. Now, the last thing on here is something that barely even made it into the video because I just felt something was off and decided to go check, and then the results, I just looked at it and I was like, there's no fucking way. And there was a way, because it's absolutely true. The M16 strafes slower than every other AR for absolutely no reason. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I tested it with a bunch of different assault rifles, and I got the same results every single time. I feel like I've said this more than once in the video, like a lot in the video, but how the hell did they decide to put a gun into the game that just has so many outlying random stats that put it at a disadvantage against all the other rifles? How did this happen? Like, what is going on here? So I guess at the end of the day, what it comes down to here is if you ask yourself, why is nobody using the M16? The real quick answer is it's not very good. But after some investigation, the real answer is probably it doesn't work. The reload is bugged, the attachments are bugged, the damage is bugged, even the strafe speed is bugged. There's barely anything that even works properly here. Of course nobody's using it. Now, I know it's a complete false hope, but maybe, just maybe, if this video gets any sort of attention, the M16 will be addressed. Because I can tell you for certain, if it's left in the state it's in right now, people are gonna continue to ignore it. It's a weapon where in the sandbox of two-shot killing scars and incredibly consistent M5A3s, there's just no reason to use something that simultaneously doesn't work and is much harder to use than just about everything else you can pick. But then again, sometimes when you get out of a vehicle with the SCAR, the game decides that you can't scope anymore and your hit detection gets all fucked. And every other gun has that damn burst fire bug they introduced in Season 2, but I'm getting off track. This video's done. DICE, the M16 does not work. I hope whether it be by my video or later on other people with a bigger voice than mine will figure out about this and get it fixed while simultaneously making sure that future guns that are added from Portal don't suffer the same fate that this one did. With that being said, I'm done, so have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and oh yeah, the M60 fucking sucks.